Hello and welcome to my ultimate video compilation of 2024. Since 2024 is almost over and 2025 is just around the corner, I would like to share with you the best moments of 2024. In this video, I'm going to show you one special day of every month in 2024. This is going to be so much fun. Here we go. At school, I was looking forward to when I would go back to a rec center and see my friends after a 4-day break. At the end of the school day, I discovered that I'll be at the rec center in just 30 minutes. It was 2 p.m. and I normally arrive at 2:30. At the rec center, I saw Cindy again. I only saw her once before, and it's been over a week since I last saw her. I also saw Miss Haley and Tracy, and I talked to them about what I did this weekend. I heard that Cindy watched a lot of my videos and Miss Claire started watching my latest video. I only saw her a couple of times today and I didn't show her the Scholarly Kids Road Trip Journal before the end of the day. I found that journal early in the morning and I realized I haven't shown it to the champions yet. At least Cindy got to see it. We talked about summer camp and I talked about how Miss Claire was the first person from the rec center I ever saw when she interviewed me about summer camp on May 12th last year, but I didn't see her again until over a month later, on June 26th. Miss Claire was also the first person Cindy saw when she interviewed her for the job. Now that I think about it, I experienced something similar today when I saw Cindy for the first time last week, but I didn't see her again until over a week later. So that wraps up my first day at the Champions this week, and my last day of Champions in January. Next time I go there, it'll be February. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in this brand new month. This year, February isn't 28 days, it's a leap year, so there's our 29 days in February. I heard that one of Cindy's friends was born on a leap year, and she only gets to celebrate her birthday every 4 years. Also, to finish January strong, I just want to say that it feels good to be at the start of the year again, and before January 1st, I was close to the end of the year for a couple months. The good news is, I'll still be close to the start in February, as it's only the second month of the year. It's also amazing how each new month is a month I haven't experienced for a year. And to celebrate February's return tomorrow, I just want to say that on February 1st last year, I posted 2 videos and 1 short on YouTube. One was about the new Duolingo challenge, and the rest were gaming videos. But next time around this journal, it'll be February. We'll see you next month, which is just in a couple hours as I write this. At the Champions program, I got a special surprise. I thought I saw someone new, but then I noticed something familiar about her. A couple seconds later, I realized it was Emma! It had been 2 months since I saw her on FaceTime, and 6 months since I saw her in person on the last day of summer camp. I talked to her about what games I played after summer camp, including Mario plus Rabbids, Kingdom Battle, Sonic Frontiers, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Sonic Superstars, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I remember December 19th when I said I hoped for another chance to talk to her, and it finally came. I also said that I had until January 1st to say I saw Emma this year, and now I can say I've seen her this year in 2024. She only stayed until snack time, but before she left, I showed her last week's journal. She said she liked my footnotes. I wish she could see all my other journal entries, and I wonder if she's subscribed to my YouTube channel. When she said goodbye to us, she said she'll be back in time. At 1:15, Mom picked me up, and we drove very far away to the dentist. I got my braces tightened as usual, but this time the dentist got me a rubber band that I can put in my braces. We arrived at the rec center at 3:15, and Cindy was so glad to see me, since she thought I wasn't going to be there, since I didn't arrive at my usual time. I also saw Robert and Mr. Micah, and I ate my snack. I'm also glad that Cindy finally came on a swim day. Before, she had the opportunity to come on a day like this, but her car broke down. When she finally came on a Monday for her first time, it was maintenance week, and we weren't able to swim. But now she finally came on a swim day, and I was so glad to see the water back in the pool. The last time I saw water in the pool before maintenance week was March 9th, so that had been 2 weeks since I swam there for the last time. I swam in the aqua track for most of the time, and Mr. Micah challenged me to swim a lap as fast as I could. I got 49 seconds, and then I got 40 seconds. Cindy and Abby joined us, and I got to swim with them. We took a walk outside, and we ate lunch. At 12 o'clock, Miss Sarah came into the room. It's been exactly 2 weeks since I last saw her, and I'm glad she's back. She was sick for the past few days, but she's better now. I showed her my spring break journal, and I showed the pictures I drew over spring break. She really liked the picture I drew of herself. I also saw someone else 2 weeks later. It was Cindy at the Champions program. The last time I saw her was Wednesday, March 27th, and she wasn't sick. She was on vacation. Today was the last day of school, and it was World's Fair Day. It was interesting having it on May 31st this year, since we usually do it in early June. But that makes sense because the last day of May is on a Friday this year. We start off the day by doing some fun activities. Some of my favorites were Guess Who with people from TCA, and petting the horses. The horses remind me of the horses I see in my Zelda games. After the activities, I got my 2023 through 24 yearbook. When I opened it, I was glad to see that Miss Sarah was in the yearbook. I haven't seen her for 3 weeks now, and she's been gone since May 9th. I wonder what happened. I also like seeing the TCA Talent Show and National History Day in my yearbook, 2 of my favorite events this year. As I was looking at my yearbook, I saw Miss McKinley again. It's been 3 months since I last saw her, and I talked to her about what I've been doing lately and my plans for this summer. During the fall, I saw her every Friday, but I've only seen her a couple times this year in 2024, so I'm glad she made it to the last day of school. This was great timing since I read my journal about the first week of school when she was there earlier this week. We watched a photo slideshow. I got some people to sign my yearbooks, and that's it for this school year. This year turned out better than I expected, and it started off with a computer that needed fixing, and I had to use one of the school computers. I remember when I wanted to listen to music, and I had to use the Spotify website instead of the app, and I wasn't used to how different it was. But then it got better. My computer was repaired in October, and I was glad to go back to my favorite apps and games. I started going to the Champions program in November, and I was glad to see my summer friends and some new people during the fall, winter, and spring. I was also enjoying my days at school as well, and I've grown in my relationships to other people. So that concludes the 2023 through 2024 school year. We arrived at Ocean Breeze, and I haven't been there for a long time. The last time I remember being there was the very last day of Camp Gonna Wanna Go Again, for a long time. From the entrance, I could already see the purple slide. I remember going down there a long time ago, and it was awaiting my return in 2024. If it were up to me, I would have gone down there first, but I had to stay with the group. There is a place that was reserved for fact until 2 o'clock, and that's where we put our stuff. I'm going to call this the Ocean Breeze Fact Center. The first thing we did was go on the Operation Splash-tastic slide, and it was super fun. I went on the purple slide after that, and I had a lot of fun traveling through a dark tunnel at high speed. After that, we found some other slides, and we found out the Sea Serpent was closed. They said, "We apologize for the inconvenience, but I wasn't too upset since there was a lot to explore at this amazing water park." When we went up the stairs to ride the slide, we found out that the Sea Serpent was open after all. I rode that slide, and it was super fun. We went to a jungle falls, and it was just like I remember. You slide, and then you float for a while. Slide, then float. Slide and float. We went to a wave pool, and then it was time for lunch. I got to sit next to Lexi on the bus, and we ate lunch at Red Wing Park. We went back to Ocean Breeze, and we went on the lazy river. We didn't have any available inner tubes, so we had to swim through it. We went back to a wave pool, and we swam through the waves. The waves were activated when the "We will rock you, boom, boom" song played. This made sense, since the waves rocked me. I remember this song being played there before, and I was glad to hear it again. The waves stopped, and I was getting bored. When the song played, the waves started again, and I was having fun again. It was time to go, and I sat next to Charlie on the bus. We went back. Today, I went to camp, but we didn't stay in the main building for long. We went on the bus to go to Bayside Rec Center, where we did archery. I saw Miss Katie there, and Alex was my archery partner. Sometimes I missed the target, but I also hit the target several times. We watched the staff play a couple rounds, and I saw that Grace hit the balloon on one of the center targets. We ate lunch at Bayside, and then we tried taking the bus to the Kempsville Rec Center to go swimming. But our plans changed, and we swam at Bayside instead. We'll go swimming at Kempsville next week. We went back. Last night, we got everything packed for our road trip, and we began our journey early in the morning. Most of the time, I read books, listened to music, and played games. I also watched Monsters University with Zoe, which is a movie I watched a very long time ago. We picked up Pop-Pop at the airport, and I showed him some comic strips. After many hours of driving, we finally made it to our vacation house in Pennsylvania. I was at a vacation house last year for my birthday, and I was glad to have another birthday vacation. After doing some of my things, we went out to go to a restaurant. We saw the Jensens there, who we met on our way to a vacation house. I remember watching the David performance on their TV at their house before. We ate at Olive Garden, and then we went back to our vacation house. I don't normally talk about my sleeping experience, but I had a very long night. The fan was going on and off at random times, and it annoyed me. Sometimes I checked the time, and I still had a long time to go. I'm so glad I finally escaped the long night, and I could get started with a new day. I listened to the Astro's Playroom soundtrack on the way to school today, so I was already in a good mood. This was great, since this week was kind of hard on me since I had so many assignments I needed to do. At lunchtime, something good finally happened. We took a field trip. Okay, we took a field trip on Tuesday for Constitution Day, but this one took me to the uncommon building of Brock Commons. And then, it finally happened. After 4 months of waiting, I saw Sarah again. I was so excited! I had some things I've been meaning to tell her since May. I told her the "I missed ya" joke, and then I asked, "Where were you for the rest of May?" I found out that she was catching up with school stuff in May, which was actually my first guess as to why she wasn't seen for the rest of the year. I'm glad I was right. I told her about the Sonic Superstars soundtrack and completing Sonic Superstars for the first time. I told her about Camp Gonna Wanna Go again, going to Ocean Breeze after 6 years, my Spanish class, my first Spanish tutoring session, completing Breath of the Wild with all shrines complete, and more. I gave her the BSU, the Big Summer Update. I also told her about the 8 Sarah story, and I showed her her picture in the yearbook. I can't believe a 4-month wait is finally over. My music is going to sound much better with another exciting experience under my belt. Whenever I'm in a rough time, I tell myself that there's something exciting ahead of me. And it was worth it. This was even more exciting than the 2 times I saw Sarah after a week or two, April 9th and 29th, since it's been much longer than that. I mean 4 months? Wow! Up to this point, whenever I'm struggling with anything, I thought of the time I completed Breath of the Wild and Sonic Superstars, and also what I'm looking forward to in the future. This is it. I got my braces off today. I went to a dentist and my braces were taken off straight away. The dentist did more work with my teeth and I listened to music while it happened. I remember something I listened to a long time ago before I got my own Spotify account. I searched for it and I finally found it after 30 seconds of scrolling. I remember listening to this around the same time I got into Mario games. It's interesting how this was released in 2018, the same year I got into Mario. I also found the Breath of the Wild album by the same artist. Not only was it released in 2024, it was released the same month I completed Breath of the Wild after completing all 120 shrines. Now that I think about it, it's interesting how there's a shrine on the cover, since I got all shrines done 10 days after this was released. Anyway, back to a brace off. I got some x-rays of my teeth and then I got up my retainer. I'm trying to get used to it. I got a cupcake and some candy to celebrate my brace off. I also got a picture of myself with my braces off. Today, we are starting this week with a Sunday. That's right, a Sunday. I don't usually do very much on Sundays, but this Sunday was so amazing that I can't leave it out of this video. I woke up in the morning and I came down to do my morning things, and then I got a surprise. Someone special that I knew at the rec center commented on one of my videos. It starts with a C, it ends with a Y, and it rhymes with windy. It was Cindy! The last time she commented on one of my videos was June 13th, which was 5 months ago. This is what her comment said. Loved hearing your monthly highlights. My favorite part was hearing about the dance again. Miss being in Champions with you guys, and I hope you're having a great school year so far. Not only did I miss hanging out with her at the Champions program, she missed hanging out with us. I was afraid she forgot about my videos after all this time, but she didn't. I'm also glad she told me her favorite part of a video. I used to ask everyone what their favorite parts were in my journals when I showed them in person, and Cindy didn't forget. As for my school year, I felt trapped while working on several assignments, but I had fun seeing Sarah at Brock Commons after 4 months. The TCA roller skating event, Teen Travelers, Fit in Motion, Market Day, and getting a comment from Cindy. I also had fun doing things at home, such as collecting all Chaos Emeralds in Sonic Superstars, playing the Breath of the Wild expansion pass, and playing Nintendo music. I'm going to play the Champions Ballad in Breath of the Wild very soon, and I'm looking forward to it. At first I wanted to complete the final Trial of the Sword, but I decided to take a break from it and check out the other side of the expansion pass. To celebrate getting a comment from Cindy after 5 months, I drew a comic called Champion Named Cindy. I came up with this idea in late September, but I didn't draw this comic since the ending wasn't the way I wanted it. Until now. This is the second comic that I came up with an idea for a while back that I finally got to draw. Friday was my first day of the teen club at the rec center. In the evening, I went to a rec center and I went to a room in the back. the same room I've been going to for over a year now. The room looked different, with tables and chairs on the left and a ping pong table on the right. I saw Miss Janelle and Maddie, who were both there in the summer. Maddie was part of a different summer camp group, so I didn't know her very well, until now. I also saw Christian, who was part of summer camp, Fit in Motion, and Teen Travelers. I also saw Sophia, who I've only seen in the summer, until now. I saw Miss Claire in the office, and I tried waving to her. But it took a while for her to respond. But she waved back. We began by doing some stations time. I played Jenga with Christian, and then we ate pizza. I didn't know what we'd doing with Teen Club on Friday, but I did know about the pizza. We played ping pong, and then we did round robin painting. I remember doing an activity like this in December, so it was great doing it in December. We played an I Know conversation game, which is similar to Uno, and then we had some free time. I showed Maddie some of my comics, and then I got picked up by Dad. So that wraps up 2024. I'm looking forward to next year, 2025, and I made a countdown for it. We'll see you next year.